Sounds like your Tinder bio.
Nah.
5'8" long, 6'2" in height. You know what I mean?
Yo, this boy is talking shit. This is my man, Montel. He's known for a lot of different things. He's a model, really good one, in fact, one of the best out here. He's a great dude. He's my best mate.
This is my brother. This is Matthew Sieber. Mateo. We've been at it for years. We were some of the only people of color at our school. Talented athlete, one of the wisest people with his words. One of my driving forces of inspiration and motivation.
This is my pendant. I was given this by my ex-girlfriend. It pretty much is just a representation of best parts of that time period. You know, like we were young, so we actually helped each other grow a lot, and now we're doing our own things.
I've actually noticed that chain for as long as I've known you, so I've never actually known where it came from. I brought pearl chain. My nana gave it to me. She means a lot to me.
What's something you wish you knew before you started your profession?
Modeling in particular can really open the door to a lot of things, especially if you go about it correctly. Your personality actually goes a lot further than your looks in modeling. What are your go-to tools to create your work?
Inspiration. Cliche, but you can find it anywhere. You know, it's kind of, I look at the same way as like writing music or composing music. What stereotypes do you face within your work?
You know, I'll be honest, I think there's a lot of egos. I think it can be one thing on set and another thing when everything's gone. I will be honest, I've been promised some things when I was early in my modeling career that they could get me with this agency, they could get me this job here, this job there. Even though I say that, I've been very fortunate to make a lot of friends in modeling and in the creative space that is Brisbane. What do you like to do in your downtime?
In any free time I get, I just catch up with my old friends. That's the one thing that gets neglected in my life the most is relationships, so I just try to do that. I love playing sport recreationally.
Sounds like your Tinder bio.
Nah.
5'8" long, 6'2" in height. You know what I mean?
Yo, this boy is talking shit. What would you do with $1 million?
It's gonna be corny. I would love to like say some shit, but I would really like to buy my parents a house, help a lot of people as well. I would fund a lot into Tirade. Yeah, I think there's a lot to help, especially in Brisbane. What's your guilty pleasure?
It's hard because I don't feel guilty about anything I like.
Yeah.
I don't.
That's why I'm scared of the scale this answer could go to.
When I used to buy video games with my mum's credit card and shit, go on a PlayStation store. Ah shit, new FIFA came out. I can't afford it, I got $0, but like, I'm sure mum can afford it. How would you describe myself and my art or Tirade in 3 words?
Innovative, future-driven, selfless.
Mad people call me selfish, there you go, boom. So, you just heard that shit.
I'll be honest, you can get into a mood where you will, I'm just putting it all out.
No, go off, King.
You can get into a mood where I know the energy that you are set in your way in terms of how something should look, which isn't a bad thing.
Right.
But one thing I admire is that you do let other people talk. You're very open to a conversation as opposed to an argument. What similarities can you draw between barbering and what you do currently?
Okay, so like when you run in a business, the biggest thing I would say for anybody is like, it's not about freestyling. So if I'm teaching an apprentice or helping them out, is the first thing I just say is like, what's your guidelines? What's your formula? What's your system? If you don't have a system, then we're already at a problem. There's certain ways to save time, save effort and stress if you have systems. Being Ghanaian, how are you motivated or inspired by life and family back home?
Big family from Ghana. My dad's actually one of 16 kids.
Shit, I didn't even know that.
I think one thing I'm really inspired by is the simplicity of life there. I think going in 2018, I learned a lot about my father. I learned a lot about the life in Ghana. Do you think village life in PNG has shaped the way you work in any way?
Home for me is my biggest inspiration because like being in the village, all activities or most activities are communal. The lessons that you learn from interdependence is massive. I think it's a lesson that we go without here. Back home in the village, it's like, you are right here, you are what you are today, your present. Mental illness, that's why they say it's a privilege of the Western world because you really only kind of get to those situations when you're faced with so many distractions.
You don't consider yourself a creative. Why is that?
One of my favorite quotes, I don't care about being humble, I just care about being self-aware. It's not that I don't think that I'm creative enough, it's just I would think that it doesn't give appropriate respects to all the creators that I know that are way better than me. How has Selection affected your lifestyle?
Selection is an online community celebrating music and art. It's influenced my style in clothing, my music taste, finding a lot more music that I love. It's a community. That's also one thing as well, big in the soul lecture, Joe Kay, inspires me in just how he goes about life. His ability to create a brand that puts on artists, upcoming artists. He's able to tap into the clothing side of things with timeless classics. He's a very innovative person. Yeah.
He is dope.
He inspires
He makes
me
it
a
look
lot.
easy too.
He makes it look
That's a big
very
thing.
easy.
Makes it look
but
easy.
he also shows a lot goes into it. How did you get into writing, and did you think you'd be where you are now with it?
So writing came about when I started making additions to my LinkedIn account. I started getting just commissioned retainer pieces by different magazines. In school, I was already within certain programs for advanced writing and storytelling. And shout out to Mr. Seymour. Crazy, but I actually want to build a library in his name. That's how much he inspired me.
Damn.
I'd write shit for him in my spare time and say, hey, what do you think about this, this, and this? I had a lot of free time back in the day, and I loved to write about shit that I was passionate about, which takes me to Facebook. That's what I used to do. Get on the internet, talk shit, Reddit, blogs, Tumblr.
Yo.
I was that guy. And everything I wrote in recreation on Facebook and all this other shit was in like a report format. So when people would argue, it would be so
Facts.
difficult to argue against me because you were just battling empirical facts, and I would reference everything. The only thing they could say was, "Cunt, I'll kill you, fuck you, I'll stab you."
That's a fact.
People would go on that Snapchat and say, $200 for Matt's address, because I'd be arguing on Facebook. Real shit. Tell us about this photo.
Yo. You know, it's funny.
When did you play?
I shouldn't be in that, because any friend from school that's even in that photo is gonna laugh because I made no contribution to that team.
No, I've never seen you play in real life, bro.
No, you didn't. So that photo is me in, I think, grade 11, grade 12, and that is our School of Origin Cup photo. I think I was pity selected because all my friends were in the team, but yeah, I'll be honest, I made no contribution to that team.
Drake, underrated or overrated?
I don't think he's underrated or overrated. Underrated or overrated? Eggplants.
I don't send eggplant emojis, I just send flat out dick pics. Eggplant is amazing, purely as a food, pause that.
Pause. Big pause. Yeah.
Purely as a vegetable.
Safe. That's
Sorry, let me get back to the point. Yeah,
yeah.
it's underrated.
Yep.
Extremely underrated. Fuck, marry, kill, R&B, Afro beats, or hip hop.
Marry R&B. I'm gonna fuck hip hop and kill Afrobeats. Fun fact, I was named after Montel Jordan. Parents were flicking through CDs. Mum stumbled across the CD and was like, "What about Montel?"
They had that shit on the bedside table when they made
you. Yeah.
This is how.
Fuck, marry, kill. Music, sport, fashion.
I'll marry sport. Sport taught me everything. Fuck music for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean like fuck regularly.
Like it's your last time.
No, like,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'd have to kill fashion. Who would win in a fight? TikTok or Instagram Reels?
Oh, TikTok's killing that shit.
I've seen some people, but they're also not the type of people that I'd hang out with. So it's like, I don't give as much value to their
That's
opinions, you know? You know?
That's true though. Who would win in a fight? Netflix or Stan?
Back in the day, it was easily Netflix.
Yep. Oh.
Nowadays, nowadays it's tied up though. I actually think now on the present day, Stan. I
Damn.
think Stan would win. Close,
Yeah.
close fight. Probably go 15 rounds.
Yeah.
But yeah. Pick your favorite post from each other's Instagram feed. You pretty much only post 10 out of 10 shit. This one. I always say that you look like Ali in the pose as well, but it actually just made me think like, wow, you look like a young Ali.
My favorite photo on your Instagram is this one. I remember seeing you that day. This was at the Black
we were
Lives
there.
Matter protests, and I saw you walking. I called out, and you came over. I spoke to you and your mother. I remember it very clearly. That was a big day. I feel like I'm always learning about you. I think every time that we talk, every time we have a conversation, I'm always learning about you, and I'm learning from you. Again, I always aspire to be able to, and I say this all the time, to be able to articulate my words the way that you do. When I was contacted to do this, I found comfort in the fact that I knew you were going to be doing it with me.
I appreciate it, bro. I think I would say very similar things in that this relationship is very unique to my life, mostly because you don't have the ego that you should. You don't really have any ego. As men, that's one of the foremost things that we have to deal with when we meet another man. When you're trying to be friends with someone, you don't want to have to fucking deal with that shit all the time. And you are just a blessing because you don't have that. And we could talk about, that's why we could talk about whatever.
Yeah, cool.
Appreciate you,
We
bro.
do it because we have to. Damn, deep in these shits. Yeah.